everybody. Welcome to Shadow at Night. This is Tuesday, March the 18th, 2025. And on the show tonight, an explosive interview with Dr. Anne-Marie Yim in Luxembourg, who has been targeted, let's say, by the powers that be, whoever they happen to be, for her outspoken stance on the injection, the very popular injection that people were taking and still are taking over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. She exposes the ingredients. She wasn't supposed to, but she did. She went looking. She's a scientist. And she found some ingredients that are questionable. Some you may know about, some you may not. But the properties that some of these ingredients contain are astonishing. This is transhumanism, and it will be discussed in the interview tonight. Dr. Anne-Marie Yim is a French citizen born in Cambodia. She has a PhD in organic chemistry on peptide proteins from the University of Montpellier, a post-doctorate in proteomics, the identification of membrane proteins at the University of Michigan. She studied with Dr. Samir Hanash, a well-known expert in this field. She also worked with Dr. Borshitz on the inflammatory process in rheumatoid arthritis. Additionally, Dr. Yim has a master's in intellectual property, and since 2018, she has been studying law. She is the equivalent of what we call an articling student here in North America, or a paralegal, I believe. She's been studying law related to patent engineering and preparing patent applications at CP in Strasbourg, Austria. The interview was recorded at 2 o'clock Central Time this afternoon. It roughly runs for 2 hours. Now, here's what's going to happen on the show tonight. I do have a couple of things I want to get to before that. And then when we go to the interview with Dr. Yim, we'll be cutting out YouTube and Facebook. And the reason for that is because those two platforms are censorious, as you know. They have algorithms running throughout their platforms that identify keywords, and the problem is that none of us creators, at least that I know what these keywords are, what's going to trigger their strike protocol, their shutdown protocol. It happened with Wayne Peters a couple of weeks ago, as you'll recall. He said something, we don't know what it was, and his show was immediately shut down. It's happened to me at least 2 or 3 times on Facebook, definitely over and over again on YouTube. So for that reason, we'll be cutting off the YouTube and Facebook feed once the interview with Dr. Yim begins. You can still watch on X and on Rumble and on Telegram through the Shadow at Night community there. And of course, if you're an all-access member at shadowdavis.com. And I'll be going through, for those of you who watch on Facebook exclusively or YouTube exclusively, and you refuse to leave that platform for whatever reason, I don't know why. You should have backups, not just for my show, but for every show that you watch on Facebook or on YouTube. You should have backup platforms just in case something happens. I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later on, like in 5 minutes or so. Maggie Hope Braun has been touring across northern Alberta with Kickley, and she's got some great news from Edmonton today. We're going to play her video in just a second. Mark Carney promised another $6 billion in spending today, which is something he shouldn't be doing, according to the Caretaker Convention. All he should be doing as prime minister, unelected prime minister, is taking care of the bureaucracy that helps Canada run. That's it. That is all. He should not be making deals with other countries. Today, he apparently made a deal with Australia, so we'll get to that in just a second. And also, a judge in the United States has ruled that all of Donald Trump and Elon Musk's USAID cuts need to be reinstated. We'll get to that in just a second. The Shadow at Night live stream, as always, is brought to you by CanadaNanoSilver.com.
Crest toothpaste to SilverCeuticals toothpaste. First, we're starting out with Crest. It's a classic. It's an original. It's what I've used most of my life. But that being said, it does have its problems. First off, the consistency is so weird and thick, and I get it's a paste, but it really doesn't spread that well. And I must also say that I'm not in love with the taste. I get toothpaste isn't supposed to taste good, but why shouldn't it? But that being said, it does get the job done. Next, we have Silverceuticals. They have 3 flavors, but today we're going with Bubbleberry. And already it smells so good. So I'm excited to see what this tastes like. The consistency is also a lot smoother, and I must say it spreads way nicer in your mouth.
This literally tastes like fruit bubblegum.
Yeah, this toothpaste was pretty good. I actually went in for seconds, and it's infused with nano silver, so it helps remineralize your teeth and keep them fresh throughout the day.
100% go with Silverceuticals.
And here's the results. What's your favorite toothpaste?
CanadaNanoSilver.com. CanadaNanoSilver.com. It also comes in a couple of other flavors as well, right? Cinnamon and spearmint. So check it out. And all the other great products online, CanadaNanoSilver.com. And don't forget, in a couple of weeks, Kevin and Anna from Canada Nano Silver are going to be in Calgary. Let me throw this up on the screen here for the National Women's Show, Stampede Park, BMO Center in Calgary, April 5th and 6th. You see, there's Kevin and Anna right there at the bottom of your screen. And they'll also have all of the stuff that they had at the previous shows they've been doing in Winnipeg at the Convention Center, the women's show there. And I forget what the other one was called. I was at that one and I can't remember. Anyway, they'll be there with all of their product. If you want to know what it is, you haven't checked it out yet, go to CanadaNanoSilver.com. And don't forget, Kevin and Anna, they are us. Not some big conglomerate. Not some big corporation run by the World Economic Forum or the Bilderbergs, or by any of the big investment firms like BlackRock or Vanguard. They're just like us. Just like us. So yeah, they'll be in Calgary, April 5th and 6th, if you want to go and say hello at the National Women's Show. And more information on that is available at CanadaNanoSilver.com. If you want to become a member, meaning that you want to retail these products, get a hold of them through the contact tab at CanadaNanoSilver.com. Okay, Maggie Hope Braun is in Edmonton, and something really cool happened during her speaking tour of Northern Alberta. Here she is.
Edmonton today, standing outside of the Edmonton Convention Center on the beautiful Bow Valley. And here at the Convention Center this week, there is the Rural Municipal Association of Alberta having their spring convention. And if you've been following my work, you know that I've been advocating for awareness at the local level of how it is that international lobbyists are actively getting their items on our local municipal agendas, and the organizations that they've been working through, like the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, which has partnered in the early 90s with the United Nations organization called the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives, or ICLEI. And I've started a group called KICLEI, and we're going to councils and we're sharing professional reports and presentations and raising awareness about how this global agenda is diverting funds away from our local communities and the municipal mandate. So here in Alberta, a lot of exciting things have been happening. And I'm really excited to be here. I've been doing a speaking tour and just happened to be in Edmonton when this conference, the RMA conference, is happening today. So a few things have happened, and it's going to, there'll be a resolution today put forward in just an hour, and we're going to explain that a little bit. So the County of Wheatland passed a motion. I guess they went to the FCM conference. They came back and said, you know what, there's no programming there for rural municipalities. I don't know what we're doing there. It's all urban centric. And they sent a letter to the FCM stating that they wouldn't be attending the conference this year. And they called for a unified stance of rural municipalities across Canada to take a unified stance with them and essentially boycott the conference. So on my travels, I've been sharing this with councillors across Alberta and through this live with councillors across our country to join them in that unified stance and call for programs. If the FCM wants to have members that are part of the rural municipalities of Canada, they need to offer programs that benefit the rural communities of Canada. So I've been sharing that information and also advocating that if councillors choose to go to the conference, that they use that as an opportunity to bring forward this call for better programming for rural and small town communities. And then we saw the County of Stettler, and they chose to not renew their membership with the FCM, and they let them know for the same reasons. We feel like the rural voice is being silenced and that the programs offered are urban-centric, and we want more rural programs, and we won't be a member of the FCM any longer. And they were followed by the town of Vermilion in Alberta, and I met a bunch of the councils from across Alberta last night and found out that other ones have also withdrawn their membership from the FCM. So today, in about an hour, if you're just joining us, we're at the Edmonton Conference Centre, and the Rural Municipal Association of Alberta is having their spring conference here today. So they will be passing a motion. It is coming from Wheatland County and Bonnyville Municipal District, and they will be putting forward a motion to call for a new federal advocacy group for rural municipalities so that they can better advocate for their specific and unique needs. And I posted the full resolution in the description of this video. So I'm excited to be here today. I'm just taking a look around, and as we look down, I can see if I can flip it and give you a nice view here of what I'm looking at. We see the Edmonton Convention Centre, and then if I can zoom in, all the provincial flags of Canada. So the message coming out from Alberta Municipal Rural Association today is a message for all rural associations across this great country. You know, our country, when we look at the map, the majority of our country is made up of small towns and rural counties and districts and communities. So why is it that the federal funding is coming down through the FCM, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and is tied to an international agenda, right? The United Nations started working with the FCM in 1990. Together they drafted what became known as Agenda 21. And today, the only way that municipalities can access these federal funds is if they adopt an internationally driven agenda. It's not bottom up anymore. So the FCM either needs to completely restructure, or at this point, it looks like the rural municipalities of Canada will be provided with another option to come together, to network, and to advocate for their specific needs. So it just got a little loud. I don't know if you can hear. There's a snowblower down there. But I will come back with an update later after the resolution, and I'll be sending out some press releases and articles on this through our website, kickley.substack.com, and you can find all of this information also on kickley.ca. So that's KICLEI. It stands for Kicking the International Council Out of Our Local Environmental Initiatives. So with that, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you for watching, and I just wanted to share this great news with everyone and keep you in the loop of what we're up to here in Edmonton. So bless you all and have a great day.
She's doing a great job. Maggie is doing a great job. And by the way, we know that that's not the Bow Valley. That's in Calgary. She was looking down on the North Saskatchewan River, which runs very quickly through the city of Edmonton. She's from the east, so we do have to give her a pass on that one. Follow her on Facebook, on all social media, to find out how you can help, because what she's doing is creating awareness, not just with us, the people, but also with the people who run the small town municipality councils, who have absolutely no idea that their towns are being taken over by the United Nations. And we've talked about that a million times on this show. Okay, before we get into this interview with Dr. Anne Marie Yim, and there's a lot It's, like I said, it's about 2 hours long. I want to let you guys know who are just tuning into the show now on Facebook that we are not going to be on Facebook tonight. We are right now, but we're not going to be on Facebook in about 5, maybe 10 minutes. So, how do you watch the show? Oh my God, Facebook. I love Facebook. There's so many of you guys who, for whatever reason, refuse to leave this platform. But because it is a censorship platform, I have no choice but to remove the show, the interview tonight, from Facebook and from YouTube, lest the 58,000 followers that we've garnered in the past 5 years on Facebook get completely and totally wiped off this page. Because that's probably what would happen. We are going to move the show will remain on X and on Rumble and on Telegram and, of course, the website shadowdavis.com. How do I find you on Rumble? Okay, so here's what you're going to do. If you're watching on a laptop or if you're on a phone, you download the app and then you type into your search bar Shadow Davis, and it's spelled SHADOE space DAVIS. What you're going to see are two different accounts pop up. One of them is my personal. The other is where the show airs every night on Rumble. And that would be the one with me wearing a tie. You see? This is the one right here, the one with 7.2 thousand followers. That's where you get the show. This one is just my own personal account that I can look around on Rumble with. Kind of like the way Facebook works. You've got a page and you've got a profile. Okay, so this is the profile. You don't want to, you can follow that if you want, but this is the key one, the Shadow Davis Show on Rumble. Okay, so download that app on your phone and look for me. And then you can follow all the other big names on Rumble too, because they're all there. If you don't want to do that, you want to go to X, formerly Twitter. Here's where you can find me on X. It's very simple. Again, the same photo from Rumble. Right now, we're streaming live. That's why there's that pinkish red circle around my profile picture. It's at Shadow Davis on X. At Shadow Davis on X. Okay? That's how you find it. And of course, here is the website, shadowdavis.com. My preference would be that you become an all-access member at shadowdavis.com. It's like $11 or $12 a month, something like that. And plus, you'll be eligible to win Shadow Davis merch coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've got big 20-ounce mugs we're going to be giving away to all access members. And, of course, the T-shirts in 3 different colors. There's black, there's white, and there's going to be this groovy, cool teal color. So that's how you find the show in just a couple of minutes once we sign off from Facebook and from Rumble for this interview with Dr. Anne-Marie Yim. Story today from the Associated Press. Mark Carney announced a multi-billion-dollar radar purchase from Australia and an expansion of military operations in the Arctic while visiting Canada's far north in an effort to assert sovereignty over the increasingly contested region. So this is a complete and total steal right from Pierre Poilievre's book. Poilievre announced this a couple of weeks ago. Carney is stealing this. But here's the thing. Mark Carney cannot announce any multi-billion-dollar deals, whether they're radar purchases or whether they're sending money to Syria. Whatever it is, Mark Carney cannot do that under Canada's caretaker convention until he gets a seat in Parliament, for starters, and actually faces Parliament to get their confidence. And he has done none of those things as of yet. But somehow, and by the way, the media and Rosie Barton, because she asked about Mark Carney's personal holdings in this blind trust yesterday during that press conference, she's getting so much hate from the far left on X. It's absolutely hilarious. The Prime Minister's office said that the Canadian $6 billion or 4.2 US billion over-the-horizon radar system will provide early warning radar coverage from the Canada-United States border into the Arctic. But again, this man does not have the authority to be able to do that, so I don't know what he is talking about. And the media should be calling him out. Hey, don't you think, sir, that you should maybe get yourself elected, have an election, or face Parliament before you start making multi-billion-dollar announcements like this that you have no power to do? U.S. District Judge Theodore D. Chang who was appointed by Barack Obama, just ordered Elon Musk and Doge to restore nearly all of USAID's operations because apparently they break the U.S. Constitution. That's all we've got on that for now. This just dropped about an hour ago, so we're going to go ahead and fill up tomorrow night show with all of this information. But for now, that is a breaking headline. Okay, guys, we're going to move the show, or we're going to take off the show from Facebook and from YouTube in 22 seconds. And when we return from this brief interlude, the interview with Dr. Anne Marie Yim, where we discuss the injections, transhumanism, and what the hell graphene is exactly. We'll be right back.